This morning will be given by Keith Greenlee, National Director from the state of Mississippi, followed by the national anthem.
Let's pray. Our Father God, we just thank you for this day. We just thank you, dear Lord, that we can come out and enjoy this game of baseball. Lord, you've been good to us, and we just thank you for all your many blessings. We just pray, dear Lord, that as today goes on, that you'll watch over the players, the coaches, and the umpires. Protect them, dear Lord. And Lord, may all of us conduct ourselves in a way that will be pleasing to your name. We ask all these things in your precious and holy name. Amen.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we kick off coverage of Day 5 of the 2016 Dixie Youth Baseball AAA World Series here from the Laurel Sportsplex in Laurel, Mississippi, and brought to you live on JockJive.com. Jason Thompson bringing the action here on Laurel Ford Field between Team Alabama and Team Florida. Alabama will be wearing the blue tops. They'll be the visitors, and they will send the following lineup to the plate against Florida pitcher DYBWS. 8 is Joe Lott, the left fielder. 10 is Cooper Estes, the catcher. 00 is Cole Patrick at short. 4 is the pitcher, Michael Crocker. 2 is William Taylor at first base. 21 is the center fielder, Lane Lawson. 9 is Nicholas Rutland at second. 12 is Zach Patrick in right. 1 is Rowan McMahon. 3 is Alex Sherman at third base. 13 is C.J. Stewart. And 22 is Carson Cooper. Scott Patrick, your Alabama manager. John Patrick, Michael Sherman, the assistant coaches. For Team Florida, wearing the old Florida Marlins colors with the white and the teal letters and numbers with the, looks like, black letters on the back. On the infield, from left to right, from third to first, 42 is Mally Boone, 10 Pierce Story, 17 Jaden Pelletier, 3 Jordan Jennings. The outfield from left to right, number 30, Ty Kaddour, 00, Logan Andrea, 21 is Trenton Guest. Behind the plate, 23 is Cam Zapata, 24 on the bump is DYBWS. Mike Zapata is the Florida manager with Kyle Nails, Nate Story, the assistant coaches. Our umpires for this one behind the plate from Roanoke, Virginia, Winston Simmons. At first from Edgefield, South Carolina is Paul Taylor. At second from Wallace, North Carolina, Charles McNamara. And at third, Davin Lovelace from Kilgore, Texas. Team Alabama, the lone unbeaten in the tournament. They beat Arkansas 6-5 Saturday, Mississippi 18-9 on Sunday, and Texas 8-6 on Tuesday. And the first pitch at 8:59 popped up on the infield. The shortstop will put it away for out number 1. So Lott, first pitch he sees, he pops out to Pierce Story. As the catcher, Cooper Estes to the plate. Of course, the number you see on your screen is a number to text. It is not a number to call. Shout out to your favorite player team, as that is foul to the right side. 0-1. It is 850-380-7267. As Don Morris is here, go Gators. Just got to poke a little fun at him. He likes that other team. And don't tell me what time it is. Don't bring me that 27-2 business. Get that chop out of here. I'm trying to broadcast. Ground ball to the shortstop. He has it. Over to first. Not in time. That's an infield hit for Cooper Estes.
Batting 00, Cole Patrick.
Cole Patrick, the shortstop. Again, programming note that all 6 games are now being played right now here at 9 a.m. to beat the weather. We did it yesterday before the skies opened up. I'd say probably about 90 minutes after we left. The pitch. Upstairs for a ball. Now, tomorrow is going to be another story. Because Don Morris leaves me a note that says 27-2. Yeah. The pitch outside for a ball. The chance of rain is 65% or higher at game time tomorrow, and that is through the 6 o'clock hour. So it's going to be a lot of hit and miss tomorrow, but let's get through today first. The 2-0 from Bellamy missing upstairs. It's 3-0. Again, if Alabama were to win, Alabama will take on the winner of the other game in the AAA division, Texas and South Carolina. The pitch is a strike called. Now, if Florida were to beat Alabama, then you'd have 3 teams tied with 1 loss. Alabama, who has played 1 less game, would have to play in the first game Thursday. Popped up. First baseman underneath it makes the leaping grab for out number 2. Looked like he may have misjudged where it was, but Jordan Jennings with the twisting grab as Michael Crocker to the plate. And then the other 2 teams, which would be, of course, Florida and the winner of that one, there would have to be some sort of coin flip. Ground ball to the third baseman, over to second for the out. That'll go 5-4. And we'll take a quick break here on JockJive.com.
Here are some things you may not know about Jock Jive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like Dixie, American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We've worked with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. Here's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right, we have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your next sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve Jock Jive.
Back here in Laurel, where we got a programming update. All of the championship games will be today at 2 p.m. I just mentioned about the weather chance tomorrow. 65% or higher tomorrow. So Van Salt, during the break, had told me all 3 finals will be at 2 p.m. today. Which fields they'll be on to be determined. I will be on the championship game of the AAA division. The rest of it we'll have figured out for you after these games. So we'll give you the Florida lineup. This will be the lineup that will face Michael Crocker. 24 is the pitcher, Diggy Bellamy. 42, Mally Boone at third. 3 is Jordan Jennings at first base. 23 is the catcher, Cam Zapata. 21 is Trenton Gesson right. 30 is Ty Kadur in left. 17 is Jaden Pelletier at second. 00 Logan Andrea in center. 10 is Pierce Story at short. 6 is Landon Hogan. Colby Reinberger is number 44. Mike Zapata, the manager. Kyle Nails, Nate Story, the assistant coaches. For Team Alabama on the infield, from left to right, from third to first. Number 3, Alex Sherman. 00 Cole Patrick. 9, Nicholas Rutland. 2 is William Taylor. The outfield from left to right. Number 8, Joe Lott. 21, Lane Lawson. 12 is Zach Patrick. Behind the plate, number 10, Cooper Estes. On the bump is number 4, Michael Crocker.
Number 24, Diggy Bellamy.
Pitch missing inside. Again, 2 p.m. today for the championship games, so you may want to pass that along to anybody who would be curious, because there'd be a lot of those folks. The 1-0 swung on and hit well to center field. Center fielder going back. It gets over his head. Bellamy around first to second. He will be standing with a double.
Banger 42, Malibu.
It's Malibu to the plate, the third baseman. Again, all finals today at 2 p.m. So it'll be a double session and possibly a triple should there be an if game. It says, go Municipal, take care of business. Coach Willis, Rachel, and Walker, let's do it again today. The pitch, swing and a miss. Interesting point that was just brought up here in the press box. That 2 p.m. final could screw up some pitcher eligibility. That has been waived for the championship game because of the fluidity of the schedule today. Swung on, ground ball through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. The runner will hold at third as Boone swatting the single.
Banger 3, Jordan Jennings.
He's going to be safe at second. I guess the slow reaction time getting the ball in allows Boone to take second. So a pair of doubles will bring Jordan Jennings to the plate.
Now batting number 19, Nate Williams.
The pitch is a strike called to Jordan Jennings, the first baseman. The pitch misses for a ball. It's now 1-1. Again, we have not ascertained yet which final will be on what field, but so the question is, would the AAA final be here on Laurel Ford Field? Because the original schedule is that the AAA and the majors would be on Howard tomorrow. That's a hit by pitch as Zapata hit on the forearm, on the upper arm rather. Team Florida in business. Bases loaded with nobody out.
Banger 23, Cam Zapata.
Sky very overcast right now, but we're staying dry. The pitch is a strike call, 0-1. The 0-1 swung on, fouled at the plate. Puts Crocker ahead in the count, 0-2. Again, Bellamy at third, Boone at second, Jennings at first here in the bottom of the first. Team Florida looking to jump out on top. The pitch from Crocker is upstairs for a ball. It's 1-2. Again, it is Texas and South Carolina. That'll be an elimination game over there. Both those teams have one loss. Alabama, the lone unbeaten here in the AAA division. So Alabama will be playing at 2 o'clock regardless. The pitch outside for a ball. It's now 2-2. Georgia and Texas in the majors division. Georgia the unbeaten there. Alabama and Florida is an elimination game. In the O-Zone, it is Florida and Alabama. Florida the unbeaten. Texas and South Carolina in the elimination game. The 2-2 pitch. Inside. That'll run the count full. The payoff pitch, swung on and tipped, so he stays alive. I think he got a piece of the catcher. He's kind of doubled over there, Cooper Estes. We'll see if he's okay. As one of the Alabama coaches is going to trot out and check on him.
Starting off for Alabama's number 3, Mason Siegel.
And he's going to be all right. He gets a nice hand from both sides. Pretty good sized crowd on both sides for both. Hopefully everybody's got their coffee or energy drink ingested, or in some cases like me, both. Crocker looking in for his sign, and he has it. The payoff pitch to Cam Zapata is swung on, ground ball. He gets through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. A run is going to score, and they'll hold the runner at third. So station-to-station baseball as Team Florida on top first with a 1-0 lead. As Bellamy scores. Boone to third, Jennings to second. Pitch from Crocker, missing upstairs, 1-0. And the 1-0 from Crocker is upstairs. It's now 2-0. The pitch, big swing and a miss. It's now 2-1.
Now batting, double giver Carson Reinhardt.
The 2-1 pitch, swung on, ripped, foul. Down the left side. Mobile wearing the blue tops with the horizontal stripes across the abdomen, kind of like the old Astros uniforms of the 70s. The white pants, the red socks. Florida wearing the old Florida Marlins colors with the teal numbers and letters, with the white pants with the teal stripe. The 2-0 to Trenton Guest, swung on and hit to left field. It is just foul. I'd say by just inches, maybe a foot and a half tops. So again, championship games scheduled for 2 o'clock this afternoon, if games could be following, depending on if the undefeated teams lose here. The 2-2 to Guess is going to miss. That's ball 4. Actually, I thought it was ball 3. I had 2 and 2, and that's going to be a dead ball. That's a dead ball. People are running everywhere. They're going to have to go back. Well, the run came in to score, so I guess as time is called, as manager Scott Patrick's going to call time, the runner headed to first, Guess, and runners were heading back, and we're going to get together with the umpires. But the runner from third, Mally Boone, made a break for home and scored. So the question is, will he have to go back during all that, because Guess lost track of the count. Definitely a big call in this ball game. As Scott Patrick's going to get an explanation here. Boone has not come out of the dugout, so that run may count. And I think it will from the reaction from Patrick. So Boone scoring on, I guess you'd call it a wild pitch. So it is 2-0. And the count will be 3-2 as Guess has to come back. I guess, the umpire's stance is, well, y'all should have known what the count was. So a big play in this game, 2-0. And another payoff pitch. Headed home to Trenton Guess is swung on, hit the left field. The left fielder charging, and will make the sliding catch. Good hustle there, Joe Lott, for out number 1.
Bag number 30, Ty Kadur.
Ty Kadur, number 30, the left fielder to the plate, hitting from the left side. Again, programming note, the finals have been rescheduled for 2 p.m. today. As we mentioned, in large part because of the very high rain chance tomorrow. The pitch. Strike called. Of course, we may not be out of the woods by 2 o'clock today, but I think the chances of rain are much higher tomorrow than they are this afternoon. So, potential for another long day here at the park. The pitch. It's going to miss outside and squirts away from the catcher as the runners will advance a base. I guess you'd call that pass ball as it squirted out of the umpire's mitt. The catcher's mitt. It is now Jordan Jennings at third, Cam Zapata at first. 2 already in here for Florida in the bottom of the first. The 1-1-2 Kadur swung on, fouled back. Florida was a 14-5 winner in 5 innings over Louisiana on Saturday before losing 11-2 to Texas Sunday. They came back to beat Virginia 5-1 Monday and North Carolina 13-2 in 4 innings yesterday. As the Bama fans getting loud below to us to our left, the 1-2 pitch low into the dirt. Good block by the catcher. Everybody will stay put. Count is now 2-2.
Now to bat number 26, Trent Kelly.
The 2-2 swung on and missed for the strikeout. 2 down now for Jaden Pelletier.
Bag number 17, Jaden Pelletier.
The only pitcher not eligible to pitch today is Lane Lawson because he pitched 4 innings yesterday. But from what I heard up here, that'll be waived for the championship game, so Lawson should be eligible to pitch in the championship game because we moved the time. Popped up foul to the left side. So inning-wise, Reinberger with 11, Bellamy and Jennings with 3 each, Pelletier with 2, Hogan and Boone 1 each. So Reinberger's really the only one in danger of running out of innings. Everybody else should be fine. The pitch swung on and missed. Count 0-2 to the second baseman, Jaden Pelletier. 2-0 our score. Florida with a pair, but a base hit away from plating possibly 2 more. The 0-2 from Crocker is strike 3 called on the outside corner as Pelletier looks back at the umpire. And that'll do it here for the bottom of the first. 2 runs scored on 1, 2, 3 hits. They leave 2 on. We've played an inning. We'll go to the top of the second when we get back. Alabama trailing 2-0
All Action
here on
Photography is being
JockJai.com.
provided by Expression and Motion Photography for the World Series event this week. They are putting products on site and also have many other items to choose from that can be shipped directly to your door after the event. Visit them on site online at einphoto.com and like their Facebook page for more details.
From each state compete for the #1 position in Dixie Youth Baseball. Why not combine your vacation with a week of championship youth baseball at the Dixie Youth World Series?
Now batting number 7, Tyler Asano.
Sportsmanship is one of the goals of Dixie Youth Baseball. At times, we see good sportsmanship displayed by everyone, except for some adults. We feel that as adults, regardless of whether or not they're active in the program, they're supposed to set a good example. Everyone can do this as they sit in the stands cheering for their favorite team. Be a good example of sportsmanship. Yell for, not against a team. In this way, you can set a good example of sportsmanship. Fans are as much a part of the game as the umpires, so be a good fan by cheering for your team and not against the other.
Back here in Laurel where the text goes, "Let's go Bama." The next one says, if an undefeated team loses in the early game, what time will the play-in game start? Well, I would assume that will be a 2 p.m. start. We're going to have a change. Back here in Laurel where I may have said the if games to follow today, Commissioner Wes Skelton says that is to be determined, because that means chances are some team could be playing 3 games in a day, and that's really be taxing and kind of pressure packed considering where we are in the tournament. So
leading off for number 2, William Taylor.
So if the undefeated team loses, would they play in the play-in game? In this case, the answer would be yes, because Alabama has played 1 less game. We'll explain that as William Taylor hits a ground ball past the pitcher. Shortstop has it over to first. In time. Does he make the play? Yes. That'll go 6-3.
Banger 21, Lane Lawson.
The rule states if 3 teams have 1 loss after play on Wednesday, the team with the most amount of games played would get the bye to what we call the if game. But in this case, Alabama would have 4 games played. The other 2 teams would be 5. So the team with 4, which would be Alabama in this case, they would play in the 2 o'clock game, and there'd be some sort of draw or coin flip of some kind to determine who would be their opponent and who would get the bye. And as Wes Skelton just said, the if games are to be determined. Because again, the prospect could be a team playing 3 games in one day, and you certainly don't want to do that. Lane Lawson at the plate. Pitch is swung on and hit into center field. That'll be a base hit. So the first hit, actually the second hit of the day for Alabama.
Bang number 9, Nicholas Rutland.
Again, Jock Jive also bringing you Dixie Boys Championship action today from Pineville, Louisiana. Pitch from Bellamy, missing upstairs for a ball. 1-0. Again, if games to be determined. Championship games will be at 2 today, all 3 divisions. Field assignments have yet to be determined. Ground ball knocked down by the shortstop. It'll bounce into left field. That'll be an base hit. So Team Alabama with something brewing. Zach Patrick to the plate.
Now batting number 22, Tanner Taylor.
The pitch from Bellamy is swung on and fouled back. Bellamy's 0-1 pitch swung on, foul to the right side, and that'll make it 0-2. Top of the second, Florida with a pair in the bottom half of the first, lead 2-0 here. In 4-0 our score to our right with Texas on top of South Carolina. The pitch swung on, out of play to the right side. The 0-2. Swung on, ground ball to the shortstop. He has it to 2nd to 1, and that's all they'll get. That'll go 6-4 on the fielder's choice. It's going to go Story to Pelletier on the 6-4. As Rutland forced out. Lawson to 3rd, though. For Rowan McMahon. Had 2 hits yesterday. He's called on to deliver a clutch hit here with the runner at 3rd base. Showing bunt as the 3rd baseman comes in. He'll pull it back, and that is a strike called as the runner will take off for 2nd. They will not throw down. So a stolen base for Zach Patrick. Bellamy's 0-1 to McMahon. Headed home. It is a ball inside. 1-1 the count. And a shout out to all of the grounds crew and volunteer workers here at Laurel that have kept this thing going with all the suspect weather we've had. That's hit into right field and dropped by a diving right fielder. That will tie the game at 2. Great effort out there by Trenton Guess. McMahon reaches as both Lawson and Zach Patrick score. We're tied at 2. Lawson, Zach Patrick scoring. Rowan McMahon will be at first for Alex Sherman. The pitch swung on and hit to center field. That ball will drop for a base hit. Throw to 2nd. Not in time. It gets past the pitcher, but the catcher will back up. So a pair of 2-out hits here in the 2nd. Bring C.J. Stewart to the plate. As Alabama now looking for the lead. Again, as we mentioned, the chance of rain is in the 60 percentile and higher pretty much all of the morning and afternoon tomorrow. That's necessitating our move to 2 p.m. for the championship games today. That swung on and fouled out to the right. If games to be determined. The 0-1 swung on, hit to right field. Right fielder giving chase, and this time he makes the play. As Guess a little slow on judging it off the bat, but is able to make up the room and makes the diving catch out there and right. But Alabama with 2 on 4 hits. They leave 2 on. 3 so far through an inning and a half, which will go to the bottom of the 2nd. Tied at 2 with Alabama and Florida here on JockJive.com.
What makes Dixie Youth Baseball different? Well, one good rule is required participation. During the local season, every player on every team is required to play in every game. And all tournament players are required to bat at least once in every game. It's not a perfect rule, but it's much more than most youth baseball organizations do, and it allows each baseball player to be an active participant. Just being a part of each win or loss means so much to the child. They just want to belong, and Dixie Youth Baseball sees to it that they do by making this a regular rule. We think this is a step in the right direction, the child's direction.
Back here in Laurel, where missed a sub the last half inning. It was Landon Hogan in left field for Ty Kador for Team Alabama here in the bottom of the 2nd. Carson Cooper is now in left for Lott. C.J. Stewart in right for Zach Patrick. For Team Florida will be Andrea, Story, and Hogan. Batters 8, 9, and 10 in what is now a 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the second. Again, championship games have been rescheduled for 2 p.m. today.
Leading off 0-0, Logan Andre.
With the if games to be determined. If Florida wins this one over Alabama, there will be an if game in this division because we'll have 3 teams with 1 loss. That ball missing up and in. Alabama, for sure, will be playing in that 2 p.m. game only because they had the bye earlier in the tournament. They've played 1 less game, so they will be playing at 2 regardless today. The pitch, swing and a miss. Count now 1-1. Andrea wearing 00. Again, another text. What is the schedule if another game is required after 2 p.m. game today? That's to be determined. The pitch. Swung on, popped up. First baseman in foul ground. Catcher over. First baseman in foul ground will make the catch for out number 1. Conventional wisdom would tell you, yeah, they would play it right after that. But if you're Alabama, most likely that would be your 3rd game of the day, and I don't think officials here would want to, put that much pressure on kids. So could be Thursday, but again, that if game to be determined. We're pretty much having to roll with the punches with the weather here the last 2 days, as we were able to get our games in yesterday. Started at 10 a.m. Had a game here on Laurel Ford around noonish. We were able to get it in about 90 minutes before the sky opened up. Pierce Story, the batter. All the more reason to like us on Facebook so we can keep you updated on all the ever-changing schedule here in Laurel. The 0-1. Missing upstairs. 1-1. Again, in the Ozone Division, Alabama up 4-3 on Florida. The pitch is a strike called. It's now 1-2. South Carolina 2-1 over Texas. So if that score holds with Alabama, there'd be an if game in the Ozone. The 1-2 pitch. Missing outside. It's 2-2. 1 down here in the bottom of the second, 2-2 between Florida and Alabama. Alabama, the lone unbeaten. So Alabama for sure will be playing at 2 o'clock today. The pitch missing up. Count is now 3-2. Again, because Alabama has played 1 less game than Florida, and the winner of the game to our right, that would force them to play in that, I guess you'd call it the first championship game. The payoff pitch from Crocker is swung on. Ground ball. Knocked down by the second baseman. He recovers, but there won't be a throw. As Pierce Story aboard.
Landon Hogan.
It's Landon Hogan, the left fielder, at the moment, now in the game. As we mentioned, Colby Reinberger with 11 innings pitched so far. Nobody else for Florida has more than 3. Strike called, 0-1. Pitch swung on, hit a mile high on the infield. Pitcher coming over, catch it coming over, and the catcher dived but can't make the play. Again, probably felt some footsteps as both the third baseman and pitcher were over there. Didn't hear anybody calling that one. The pitch, low. Now 1-2. Pitch is strike. 3 called as Hogan down on strikes.
Batting 44, Colby Reinberger.
2 down now for Colby Reinberger, number 44. Popped up, right side. Second baseman down in shallow right center to haul it in. That's Nicholas Rutland. So Florida will leave the runner on. They have left 3 on through 2. We'll go to the top of the third. 2-2 between Florida and Alabama here in this game in the 2016 AAA World Series on JockJive.com.
Every league in Dixie Youth Baseball sets their sights each year on the Dixie Youth Baseball World Series. In August, champions in the Majors Division, the AAA Division, or the O-Zone Division from each state compete for the number 1 position in Dixie Youth Baseball. Why not combine your vacation with a week of championship youth baseball at the Dixie Youth World Series?
Back here in Laurel, where Florida's about to make a change of some kind, I believe that's Mike Zapata.
44, going in, 21. That's it. 44, going in, 44.
So Colby Reinberger in 44 will go in for Trenton Guess in right. So that'll satisfy the participation requirements for Team Florida. They had Denise Stallings down there, one of the district directors in Florida. I believe we ran into her at either Liberty County or Chipley. She was at one of either the machine pitch or the T-ball state tournament. Can't remember, it was so long ago. I think by the end of this tournament, I'll have 70 games locked in, or around 70, since July 2nd. Carson Cooper will lead things off here, followed by Joe Lott, Cooper Estes in a 2-2 tie.
Leading off at the top of the third, number 22, Carson Cooper.
This is a must-win for Team Florida. Alabama will be playing at 2 p.m. regardless as the lone unbeaten. That is swung on, hit in the left center. That will drop for a base hit. So Cooper aboard. First time the leadoff man's been on for Alabama today.
Batting number 8, Joe Lott.
There's Joe Lott to the plate. In 4-0 our score to the right over on Meadow Masters Field. Texas on top of South Carolina. That is an elimination game. Both those teams have a loss. The pitch. Squares around a bunt, but he fouls it back. Again, programming note again, championship games been moved to 2 p.m. today, if games to be determined. If you're Team Alabama, you're hoping there is no to be determined. They're the only ones that can dictate that as the lone unbeaten team. So Alabama, 2 wins away from the World Series title. The pitch from Bellamy. Squares around a bunt. He gets it down. Bellamy will have it. He'll fire to first in time. That'll go 1-4. Throw back to second and almost doubled him off. Cooper almost got caught napping out there as he rounded second, but he gets back in safely. So the sack will go 1-3 as Cooper to second. The pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 swung on, Popped into center field. Center fielder drifting back, and can't make the catch. Loses the glove. He recovers. Runner around third as the throw comes into short. Could have a play at the plate. No, he doesn't see it. Throw back to third, and he's safe. So Alabama takes the lead on the triple. That's just with the triple to deep center.
Batting number 0, Cole
As Andrea could not haul it in. As Cooper scores. Cole Patrick to the plate. Pitch is fouled at the plate. Little check swing for Cole Patrick. It's 0-1. The pitch swung on, chopper foul to the left side. Pitch is a swing and a miss by Patrick, and he goes down on strikes.
Batting number 4, Michael Crocker.
For out number 2 as Michael Crocker to the plate. Crocker reached on a fielder's choice, which ended the first inning, I'm sorry. Swing and a miss. This field. All right, just got confirmation that the AAA final will be here on Laurel Ford Field, so that means I'll be staying right here. The 0-1, missing outside. So I would assume that means the Majors Championship will stay on Howard, and Graham Doty will bring you the action there. James Hardy will bring you the Ozone Final, I believe on Powerade Field, if I remember correctly. The pitch, low and away. That'll make it 2-1. Swung on, hit deep to center, and that ball is gone! Over the green monster in straightaway center. That's the first time we've seen that on this field. And just like that, Michael Crocker gets a hold of one.
Home run, number 4, Michael Crocker.
That might be the first home run we've seen on this field all tournament. Cannot recall one before, but definitely the first one we've seen over that green monster, right over the Kia sign out there. As it's now a 3-run inning for Alabama. They lead 5-2. As everybody downstairs quick to correct us. Yeah, they're excited to say the least.
Bang number 2, William Taylor.
We will definitely stay on to show you the awarding of that home run ball at the end of the tournament as we see a DYB official hunting that one down. Swung on, hit to left field. That'll drop for a base hit. So William Taylor on for the first time.
Bang number 21, Lane Lawson.
As Lane Lawson to the plate. Lawson singled and scored his first time up. As we see someone out there bringing that ball back to us. That'll get autographed by numerous DYB officials, put in a plastic case for Mr. Crocker to take home with him to Mobile. The pitch, missing up for a ball. The pitch swung on, popped up to the right side, and that will get out of play. So if this score holds as Texas is increasing their lead 7-0 over South Carolina, there's a lot of ball left to be played on both fields, but it looks like could be an Alabama-Texas final. The swing is hit to the left side. Shortstop has it, and he bobbles, and everybody's going to be safe. Again, that's a case where the Dew probably held that ball up a little bit. Did not charge it.
Bag number 9, Nicholas Rutland.
As Lawson with the infield hit, he's now 2 for 2. Taylor taking second on the play as Nicholas Rutland to the plate. The third straight hit with 2 outs for Mobile Municipal. Pitch swung on, foul back. As that home run ball making its way up here. And if this score holds, we'll also have the elimination ceremony for Team Florida. But again, they still have a lot of outs left in this one. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Nice play by the pitcher. Bellamy, he'll fire to first in time for the 1-3 put out. But not before Team Alabama plates 3 here in the third. 2 of them on the big fly from Michael Crocker. 5 hits in the inning, and they leave 2 on. They've left 5 on through 2.5. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Florida coming to bat now trailing 5-2 here on day 5 of the 2016 DYB AAA World Series here on JockJive.com.
The Sportsmanship Award is one of the most coveted awards to be won at this Dixie Youth Baseball Tournament. Sportsmanship is playing hard to win, but realizing all cannot become winners. It is being a gracious loser and even more a gracious winner. Good sportsmanship involves such matters as fair play, keen rivalry, but careful observance of the rules, courtesy, and a generous attitude toward an opponent. To be considered for an award for sportsmanship, a team must, 1, demonstrate good conduct and positive attitude by all players and coaches, both on and off the field. Number 2, be prompt and participate in all scheduled activities throughout the tournament. 3, have fans that show good conduct and attitude toward umpires and opposing teams. And 4, be neat in appearance and dress of both team and coaches at all times. We ask all in attendance here at this Dixie Youth Tournament join the coaches and players in making these qualifications the rule of behavior while attending these tournament games. Let's make this year a wonderful year of fun and great memories.
Couple of changes here for Alabama as we go to the bottom of the third. Rowan McMahon is now in right field. So that'll fulfill their defensive requirements. Zach Patrick will move to second in place of Rutland. Joe Lott to third in place of Sherman. So the outfield, or the defense for Alabama on the infield, from left to right, from third to first, to be Lott, the 2 Patricks, Cole and Zach, and then William Taylor, and then Cooper, Lawson, and McMahon in the outfield. That's just still behind the plate. Crocker still on the mound.
Leading off in the bottom of the third, Florida number 24, Diggy Bellamy.
Time is called. The pitch swung on, popped up right side. Second baseman says, I got it, and he does. That Zach Patrick for out number 1.
Batting number 42, Malie Boone.
Malie Boone, who doubled and scored on a wild pitch his first time up. So again, programming note, in case you're just tuning in, the championship games have been moved up to 2 p.m. today. If there are if games, that has yet to be determined. So we're just rolling with the punches here with Mother Nature. So far, we've gotten everything in that we're supposed to. Ball 1. Again, the original schedule was 5:45 and 8 o'clock, but that was definitely a good call yesterday as the sky opened up somewhere around the 3 o'clock hour after we got our 10 a.m. and noon games in. The pitch swung on and hit well to left. Left fielder drifting back, and that one's going to be gone as the left fielder crashes into the wall. He is still down. Time is called as the left fielder out there, Cooper, still down, ran right into the fence as the ball cleared the fence by about 5 feet as Boone dials long distance, and he is still down.
That's a home run by number 42, Malie Boone.
So Malie Boone touches them all. Solo shot brings Florida within a run, or within 2 now at 5-3. Certainly don't want to speculate, but that might have been a face first into the fence. And he's very close to one of the poles out there, which would make it even worse. As all the 3 Alabama coaches are out there. Ball just snuck over the left field wall. He had more height than distance, it looked like, as Cooper was tracking on it and just crashed right into the fence. As everybody's down waiting on that. That's definitely the first time on this field we've seen multiple homers in a game. As the first one cleared the monster out there over the Kia sign on Laurel Ford Field. So again, programming note, 2 p.m. for the championship game, and the AAA game will be here on Laurel Ford Field. So Graham Doty will bring you the game on Howard Field in the majors. James Hardy, I believe it's Powerade Field for the Ozone final. As the sun starts to poke out, and I think Cooper is up on his feet. Question is he going to be able to continue? The umpires are out there as well. Again, a reminder to like Jock Jive on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We're trying to reach 10,000 likes this summer. We need your help to get there. When you like us on Facebook, we keep you updated on scores, schedules, game status, and so much more. So go to jockjive.com, follow the shortcut to all the social media, or simply put Jock Jive in the search engine of Facebook, Twitter, and more. And he's going to stay in the game. In a good hand from both sides. I'm sure if you're a parent, you can certainly empathize. Many of these parents have had a scare like this, or will if they haven't already, as you see the shortstop out there, Cole Patrick, checking on his buddy. Gives him the old attaboy. Got to know this Alabama team very well. 3 weeks ago, we saw their state tournament. Actually, I got to call it, I think. Championship game in Enterprise, Alabama. They're staying in the same hotel as we are. So we've spent many a day at the Buffalo Wild Wings right next to the hotel. Had our share of wings these past few days for sure. As Jordan Jennings to the plate in what is now a 5-3 game. The pitch, swung on, ground ball, a shortstop. Oh, it eats him up. Takes a hop on him as Cole Patrick bangs it into the glove. He's a little upset with himself as Jennings reaches on the infield hit, and all of a sudden the tying run to the plate for Florida in Cam Zapata. Zapata with an RBI single his first time up. Pitch low and away. Ball 1. The pitch swung on and fouled back by Zapata. That'll even things at a ball and a strike. Again, championship games have been moved to 2 p.m. today. Of course, we're hoping that we're playing at 2 p.m. today. Of course, we're battling Mother Nature, as I will when I go home to Pensacola. Schedule is a foot of rain between Tuesday and Saturday down there on the Gulf Coast. The 1-1, low and away for ball 2. Van Salt will be in that same boat. He's from neighboring Fairhope, which is in Baldwin County, next to Mobile County, where these Mobile Municipal kids are from. Bushnell or South Sumter, the park in Florida where these batters are from. The pitch, swung on, ground ball. Third baseman has it over to second for 1. Does he keep his leg on the bag? He does. Good stretch there by the second baseman, Zach Patrick, on the 5-4 fielder's choice.
Number 21, Trenton Guest.
2 down now for Trenton Guest. Of course, Bushnell is a powerhouse in Florida. We've called their names before. Called some of these Florida names before. I believe Zapata was in either the AAA or the Coach or Machine pitch last year. I remember his name. Kadura as well. Boone, Mally Boone, of course, his brother Bubba. The pitch. Strike called, as I almost said he missed the outside corner. And 7-0 the score to our right. Texas up big over South Carolina. The pitch. Swung on, popped up on the infield. Shortstop says, I got it. Third baseman says, I got it. And he'll make the catch for the out. Joe Lott. So that'll do it for the bottom of the third. But Florida gets a run on the big fly from Mally Boone, who now has 2 hits in the game. They had 2 hits in the inning. We're halfway through this one. We will go to the top of the fourth. Alabama holding on to the 5-3 lead. Again, you're watching the 2016 DYB AAA World Series here on JockJive.com.
Are you aware of the scholarship program available to participants in Dixie Youth Baseball? Hundreds of men and women have won scholarships and used them to help pay for their education after graduating from high school. 70 $2,000 scholarships were given away this year. To apply for a scholarship, you must be a senior in high school, complete the application, and mail it by March 1st to be considered for one of these awards. If you played Dixie Youth Baseball in past years and you will be a senior in high school next year, we encourage you to think about this opportunity. Many are glad they did.
Back here in Laurel, where it looks like we're going to have a pitching change as Zapata to the PA mic. Is Jaden Pelletier now on the mound, which means we have a new second baseman. Looks like 24, Bellamy, who was pitching, will go to second base. So basically a switch between the pitcher and the second baseman. So the outfield now, the infield for Team Florida, Boone, Story, Bellamy, and Jennings. The outfield, Hogan, Andrea, Reinberger. Actually, looks like Kadura is back in left. Ty Kadura. As the Bama fans getting loud as they try to punch their ticket to the 2 p.m. championship game. Again, the if games to be determined. But we do know the championship game will be here on Laurel Ford Field, so I'll get one more game, at least.
Leading off in the top of the fourth for Alabama, number 12, Zach Patrick.
Number 12 will be Zach Patrick. And then Rowan McMahon, then the top of the lineup with Joe Lott. Again, all 12 or 11 in the case of Florida batters bat the first time through the lineup. Low and inside. And then is cut down to the first 9. And then coach, at their discretion, can reinsert the 10 or 11 or 12 batters. The pitch swung on, ground ball past the pitcher. Shortstop has it to a knee, pops up over to first. Not in time. That's going to be an infield hit.
Bag number 1, Rowan McMahon.
This is how the inning started for Alabama last inning. The leadoff man getting on. He came in to score, so 2 innings in a row, the leadoff man aboard for the boys in blue. As Rowan McMahon, who had the clutch 2-run single. Very potent bat down in the bottom part of the lineup. Knocked down by the shortstop. He recovers. He will get it. He was close. It was 6 unassisted. It looked like the shortstop, Story, thought about flipping to Bellamy, but
number 8, Joe Lott.
He was all of about 5 feet away. And that slight hesitation, though, almost allowed the lead runner, Patrick, to be safe. It'll go 6 unassisted, and the Coach Zapata is going to have a quick talk with his infield. I don't think he liked the way that last play played out. As that could have possibly opened the floodgates here for Alabama. Again, it was a case where he thought about underhanding to the man covering at second, but he was only about 5 feet away, so he took it himself. And Zach Patrick made it awfully close. But the play will go 6 unassisted. Says, way to go, Zach. Again, we were talking about innings earlier with Colby Reinberger in particular with 11 innings, but this will be the last year they have to worry about that because DYB officials will invoke a pitch count starting in 2017. In tournament play, pitchers will be allowed 40 pitches and be eligible for the next day. That is bunted foul by Joe Lott. 41 to 67 pitches. I believe, no, 65 pitches requires a 36-hour rest, 66 plus 48 hours with a maximum of 85. The new pitching rules for tournament play for DYB starting in 2017. The 0-1 missing upstairs. Again, we're in the top of the fourth. Alabama looking to punch their ticket to the championship game. They lead 5-3. That one is low for ball 2. We called it a strike. There we go again. There's why I'm not an umpire. The pitch behind the batter. 2-0. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Pelletier headed home is low, and I guess that's a walk. We thought it was 2-2. There you go again. And again, it's the second time that the runner headed to, actually, that was Florida earlier. Time is called. As the runner is going to be safe on the stolen base. Actually, it wasn't a stolen base. They're going to tag him, but he's on the base. Time is called, but again, while, we got confused on the count, the defense has to know what the count is too. So that's why runner's going to be allowed to stay at second base. That's Rowan McMahon. The pitch to Lott. Swung on, hit to right center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Runner headed around third. They will put him at third. So runners at second and third as Alabama threatening once again. One out for Cooper Estes, who is 2 for 2 with an RBI triple his last time up. Again, 5-3 the score. Alabama looking to tack on. They got 3 in the third. 2 on the home run by Michael Crocker, who's 3 batters away. The pitch swung on, fouled back. Score still 7-0 to our right. The 0-1. Missing. It's now a ball and a strike. Looks like South Carolina's on the board, but they trail 7-1 over there to Texas. That's an elimination game for both those teams. The 1-1 inside. It's now 2-1. Again, to reiterate again, our championship game has been moved to 2 p.m. today. So that'll give one of these teams a chance to grab a bite to eat before they go back on the field. The if games have yet to be determined. I would imagine the main reason there is I don't think they want a team playing 3 times in one day. The pitch. That's low for ball 4, and the bases are loaded here for Alabama.
Batting number 0, Cole Patrick.
As Cole Patrick, who is 0 for 2, popped out to first and struck out swinging, looking for his first hit. If you're Team Florida, this is by far the biggest at-bat of the ball game. Trailing by 2. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball to the shortstop. He knocks it down, flips to second, not in time. And it gets away from the second baseman, and another run is going to score. So Alabama now on top 7-3.
Batting for Michael Crocker.
Patrick with 2 RBIs as Lott scores and McMahon scores. And Michael Crocker, who hit the big fly his last time up to the plate. This one's about to slip away from Team Florida if they don't get a ground ball right here. As speaking of, the text from Florida says, let's go Bushnell, focus, focus, focus from the Spring Hill All-Stars. There's another powerhouse in Florida. Our good buddy Joe Abadessa from down there. The pitch, up and in. 2-0. You got to see one of Abadessa's team win a state title, and I believe the 13-year-olds last year in Mariana, if I remember correctly. The pitch. Swung on, hit to the right side. First baseman giving chase. It'll fall foul. I believe that'll make it 1-1, 1-2 the count. Michael Crocker hit into a fielder's choice his first time and then hit a big fly over that green monster out there in straightaway, well, little right of straightaway center, more over the Kia logo out there. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball, and it gets through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. Runner will stay at third as Crocker on board for the third time today. It is now 8-3 Alabama. As Estes scores for the second time, Patrick to third. As William Taylor is now the 7th batter of the inning for Alabama, with runners on the corners and still only 1 out. He's squaring around a bunt. He'll pull it back. The runner's going to look back, and they're just going to give it to him. Trying to coax the catcher to throw down to try to push the run across, but they give Crocker second base. The 0-1. Swung on, foul straight back. So unless big comebacks happen, right now it's looking like an Alabama-Texas final over here for the championship at 2. But Team Florida still has 9 outs to work with. South Carolina with 7 left. The pitch way behind the batter, and the runner's going to make a break for it, and he's going to score on the wild pitch. It is 9-3. It is now a 4-run inning for Alabama. And they may not be done yet. One thing this also does, if this score holds, is it takes the 3-way tie off the table. Again, as we mentioned, Alabama is the undefeated team over here in the AAA. The 1-2. Swung on. Hit a mile high into left field. Center fielder coming over to his right. He'll make the catch. The runner will tag. The throw will come into second. And it is now 10-3. On the sac fly from William Taylor.
Bag number 21, Lane Lawson.
As Lane Lawson to the plate. So Alabama with 3 in the third, 5 in the fourth. As the prospect of mercy rule lingering, they still need 3. And of course, Florida will get an at-bat as strike 1. So South Carolina only gets 1 run in that last inning. So Texas coming to bat looking to pad their 7-1 lead. The pitch swung on, line drive, caught. Oh, it's dropped by the second baseman. Little knuckler moved on Diggy Bellamy.
Bag number 9, Nicholas Rutland.
Allowing Lawson to reach for the third time as they will bat around here. Nicholas Rutland, number 9, is batter number 9 in this inning for Alabama. 2 in the third, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 5 here in the fourth. For the boys from Mobile. The pitch. Swung on, line drive, knocked down by the third baseman, but it gets under his glove, trickles into left field, another hit.
Number 12, Zach Patrick.
I was going to say the boys from Mobile bringing the lumber, but it's more aluminum. As everything is clicking for them here in this fourth inning. It is the 10th batter of the inning. The pitch. Missing upstairs. It's a ball. Now Alabama is now a big fly away from putting the mercy rule on the table for the bottom of the fourth. The pitch. Missing up and in. It's now 2-0. And we invite you to become a Jock Jive Premium channel member. You get unlimited downloads of every game we broadcast, access to archives, and so much more. For DYB fans, we have a Summer of Dixie special going on right now. For $5.99, you get access to everything Dixie. That's right, $5.99. Go to jockjive.com, click on Summer of Dixie 2016, and then click on any video to sign up. That is a strike called. And I saw online that this will extend through the month of August. The original wording was that it would expire at the end of the World Series tomorrow, but since it's taking a while to get all the videos up, we're going to extend it through the end of August. That swung on, hit to right field. Right fielder giving chase, and will chase it down. Trenton Guess, about 5 feet from the fence, hauls it in for out number 3, but the damage has long been done since then. 5 runs come in to score for Alabama. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. They leave 2 on. They've left 7 on through 3.5, but they lead by a touchdown here, 10-3 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. You are watching the DYB AAA World Series here on jockjive.com.
Every league in Dixie Youth Baseball sets their sights each year on the Dixie Youth Baseball World Series. In August, champions in the Majors Division, the AAA Division, or the O-Zone Division from each state compete for the #1 position in Dixie Youth Baseball. Why not combine your vacation with a week of championship youth baseball at the Dixie Youth World Series?
Back here in Laurel, where Alabama's made a ton of changes. I believe I heard most of them. Joe Lott is now in center for Lane Lawson. C.J. Stewart back in right. Alex Sherman back at third. I think there was a couple others, but looks like Cooper Estes is still behind the plate. Crocker still on the mound. Text reads, hit a big one, Zach. That's from Bo. And let's go Municipal. Fan from the 706 area code weighing in for Mobile there. As Ty Kadur will lead things off here in the fourth.
Number 27 up to bat, 6 Smith.
Leading off number 30, Ty Kadur.
10-3 our score here in the bottom of the fourth, as Florida looks to climb back in it as time is called. Kadur struck out swinging his first time up. Again, championship games scheduled for 2 today. The pitch. Low and away for ball 1. See Tom Brown down there, one of the national directors of Texas, as one of his teams to our right is up. Looking to wrap up an elimination game win. As Crocker throws one outside, is now 2-0. Sky holding, although it is very gloomy and overcast looking here in Laurel. The pitch swung on and big swing and a miss. It's now 2-1. That's been the case most of the tournament. But we've gotten every game in on the day we were supposed to, and that's all you can ask. So we thank Mother Nature for somewhat cooperating. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled out of play to the left.
Number 5, Reed Jordan.
That'll make things 2-2. Pitch from Crocker. Swung on and roped into right field for a base hit. So Kadur with the leadoff single. He's on for the first time for Jaden Pelletier.
Batting number 17, Jaden Pelletier.
Again, the runner at first, Ty Kadur. Jaden Pelletier struck out looking his first time up to end the first inning. Pitch from Crocker. Swung on, popped up. That'll get foul out of play to the left. And I believe this is the third time in 7 years the Dixie summer has ended here in Laurel, Mississippi. They're getting good at hosting this World Series stuff. The 0-1. That's a strike called. Laurel was the first park 3 years ago to host the AAA Majors and Ozone together at the same time. Now they're the first park to hold all 5. They did the coach and machine pitch the weekend before. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball, past the pitchers. Shortstop has it. Over to first. Oh, he'll put it in his pocket. As it got past the diving Crocker, who probably had the only play that could have been made.
Batting number 0, Logan Andre.
Logan Andrea popped out at first his first time up as Team Florida, for the second time today, has the first 2 runners on. Both of those runners scored in the first. Crocker looking in for the sign. He says, yes, I got it. And the pitch headed home is a strike called. 0-1. Score to our right now reads 8-1. Texas in the top of the 4th. As we're in the bottom of our top of the 4th, we're in the bottom of the 4th here. So if those scores hold, it's Texas and South Carolina, or Texas and Alabama for the championship. And that is a strike called. 0-2. Again, that'll be 2 p.m. here on Laurel Ford Field with the if game to be determined. So we see you pacing, Big D, from the 251 area code. The pitch swung on, chopper, second baseman. Oh, he goes under the glove into center field. And a run's going to come in to score. And Florida now making it a 10-4 game. And still nobody out. As the fans down to our right get loud.
Batting number 10, Pierce Story.
Pierce Story, who singled his first time up on an infield hit, strolls in. As Diggy Bellamy waiting on deck. 10-4 our score. Florida with 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 so far here in the 4th, but looking for a little more. Squares around the bunt, he gets it down. The pitcher has it, and there's nobody at first. As the first baseman, Taylor, was crashing in to field the bunt. Nobody at first to cover, so the bases are loaded. And still nobody out. Like I said, a lot of baseball left to be played. Diggy Bellamy is 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored his first time up as manager. Scott Patrick out there to talk to his troops. Again, don't forget to like Jock Jive on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We're trying to reach 10,000 likes this summer, and we need your help to get there. When you like us on Facebook, we keep you updated on scores, schedules, game status, and so much more. So go to jockjive.com and follow the shortcut to all the social media, or simply put Jock Jive in the search engine of Facebook, Twitter, and more. Says, let's go Florida from Aunt Carroll. As the boys from Bushnell making noise here in the bottom of the 4th. 1 in and the bases are loaded. Crocker has been on the bump for the duration here for Team Alabama. The pitch, low and in the dirt, blocked by the catcher. Everybody obviously going to stay put. 1-0 the count. Score is now 9-1. Texas increasing its lead over South Carolina. The 1-0 to Bellamy. He takes it upstairs. It's now 2-0. Haven't seen Tony Smith today, but I'm sure he's wandering around somewhere. As all three of his teams are playing right now. I believe Texas is the other state with all three playing here today. The 2-0. Missing upstairs. It's 3-0. And it wasn't even close. Again, Jaden Pelletier at third. Logan Andrea at second. Pure Story at first. There's nowhere to put him. The 3-0 to Bellamy is taking all the way. It is a strike call. Bellamy take another pitch here on 3-1. Crocker has his sign. He comes set. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and hit to right center. It will drop for a base hit. One runner is going to score. They're going to send the runner around second. The throw is coming home. He'll turn and go back. Good strong throw out there in center by Joe Lott.
Number 42, Malie Boone.
As Florida plates another run. Jaden Pelletier scores to make it 10-5. Andrea takes third, Story second, as Malie Boone, who homered his first time up, or his last time up, doubled on his first one. A lot of smiles down below to our right as they're battling back into this game. The pitch swung on and hit well to the left side, but that'll get out of play. I think he was trying to make it 10-9 right there. As his third base coach saying that ball was up, and a lay off of those. 0-1 the count. As the Florida baseball chant goes downstairs to our right, folks from Bushnell and South Sumter County. The 0-1 to Boone is swung on and missed. Ball was in the dirt, but the catcher, Estes, keeps it in front. Say this is a big at bat in this ball game would be a huge understatement. Again, Andrea at third, Story at second, Bellamy at first, and still nobody out. As Florida looking to put up the huge inning here in the fourth. The pitch. Upstairs, he ducks out of the way. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Texas adding to its lead. It's 10-1, and they're still batting in the fourth, so Nacogdoches, Texas closing in on the Mercy Rule win. They played another run. As Boone calls time, as Crocker took a long time there to try to get the signal. Crocker again looking in for the sign. He shakes his head. Yes, he has it. Catcher setting up outside. The pitch swung on and ripped to left field for a base hit. One is going to score. They'll hold the runner at third. Station to station baseball. It's now 10-6. And all of a sudden, the tying run coming to the plate. As Don Morris has gotten a little more interested in this one, one of the national directors from Florida up here. He's busy like Tony Smith. All three of his teams are playing right now. Time is called as Scott Patrick makes the slow stroll out to the mound. Again, 10-1 the score to our right as Texas looking to close it. As Don Morris jokingly says he's about to bring his spear out. Yeah, go take that somewhere else. As number 3, Jordan Jennings, who's been on base twice, will come to the plate here with the bases loaded. He was hit by a pitch in the first and was left on. Infield hit and was left on in the third. As all of a sudden, Team Florida, a big fly away from tying this game, and we've seen 2 today, 1 on each side. Time is called by the plate man, Jennings. And we will stay on to show you the post-game ceremonies, whether we have an elimination ceremony or not, as we're going to have 2 home run balls awarded. The pitch to Jennings, swung on, ground ball, left side, third baseman has it over to second, in time, that's all they'll get. It'll go 5-4 on the fielder's choice as Boone forced out, but another run comes in. Jennings driving in Story, it is 10-7. And again, the tying run to the plate. Bellamy to third on the play is Cam Zapata, who's been on base twice. RBI single and a fielder's choice. As Bama boys play with heart and talent. Goes Zach from Grana and pops in Mobile, Alabama. Mobile about 2 hours from here. I'm from Pensacola, so that makes it about 3. Certainly one of the shorter jaunts home, as far as all these teams are concerned, as Zapata calls time. And I believe we're at the end of the game to our right, as Texas looks like they have just won 11 1-4 innings, so Texas will be playing later. The pitch, low into the dirt, gets away. The runner headed down to second. They'll throw down, and the run will come in to score. Kind of surprised that they would even attempt it with the runner at third base, but they do, and Florida takes advantage. 10-8 the score. Bellamy scoring on the wild pitch, or actually the throw down to second, as Jennings in scoring position. I mentioned before, a lot of baseball left to be played. Florida putting up the big crooked number, a 5-run fourth. The pitch missing upstairs. So again, Texas will now wait to see what happens over here. The 2-0 to Zapata is swung on and hit well to left field. The left fielder running into the right, now coming in, will make the catch for the out. That is Cooper, I believe, for out number 2. As Team Florida will bat around here in the fourth as the number 9 batter in the inning, Trenton Guest, coming to the plate. So for Team Texas, their situation not defined yet. If Alabama holds on and wins, it'll be Alabama-Texas in the final. Otherwise, we'll have a draw between Florida and Texas to see who will get the bye to the if game. That is outside for a ball. It's now 1-0. Again, on the chance that Alabama loses this game, Alabama has played one less game. Alabama will play at 2 regardless of whether they're the undefeated team or a one-loss team. That means Texas and Florida would have to draw or flip a coin to decide who would be in the if game, because they've both played 5 games. That ball missing up. It's now 2-0. And surprisingly, Alabama staying with Crocker, despite the fact he's got knocked around a little bit here in the fourth. They're putting all their hopes in number 4. The pitch, low, and he gets away from the catcher. And a wild pitch will move the runner to third. Count is 3-0 with the runner at third. The tying run at the plate. It was 10-3 when this inning started. The boys from Bushnell have rallied. 3-0 the count. The 3-0 taking all the way. That's going to be a strike. In the final of the AAA will be here on Laurel Ford Field. The majors will be on Howard. I believe the Ozone will be on Powerade. The 3-1 pitch, missing upstairs for ball 4. The tying run is on.
Play number 30, Ty Kadur.
Alabama batted around in the fourth. Florida has answered. They have batted around as Ty Kadur, who singled his first time up to lead off this inning.
Number 16, Austin Shaver.
Again, Michael Crocker still on the mound for Team Alabama. The pitch, missing outside as runner taking the secondary lead at first, but he'll head back.
7, Tyler Aquino.
Runners at the corners here with 2 outs. The 1-0 Kaddour. He takes upstairs. It's ball 2. Getting it is Jordan Jennings at third. Trenton Guess at first.
Terry Falcone.
Crocker has the sign. He wheels and deals. It's ball 3. Again, still surprised that they would stick with Crocker for this entire inning. He's now fallen behind 3-0. The pitch is outside for ball 4. And now the go-ahead run is on. As Guest to second, time has been called as the infield for Alabama will come together, as will Scott Patrick as he makes the slow walk out. And this could be it for Crocker. We will see.
Number 15, Jacob Collier.
I believe this is the third trip out as he asks for the ball, and that will be it for Crocker. So we're going to have a pitching change. We'll see him trot off the mound, and we're going to see somebody come in. And it looks like 21, Lane Lawson, coming into the game. Not sure where he's going, but 00 will be taking over on the mound is Cole Patrick. We're going to take a break here on JockJive.com.
And your coaches, Mr. Pat Falcone.
Sportsmanship is one of the goals of Dixie Youth Baseball. At times, we see good sportsmanship displayed by everyone except for some adults. We feel that as adults, regardless of whether or not they're active in the program, they're supposed to set a good example. Everyone can do this as they sit in the stands cheering for their favorite team. Be a good example of sportsmanship. Yell for, not against a team. In this way, you can set a good example of sportsmanship. Fans are as much a part of the game as the umpires, so be a good fan by cheering for your team and not against the other.
Back here in Laurel where the text goes, you can do this, Florida, from Aunt Carol. Georgia up 4-2 on Texas in the majors in the 5th inning. Alabama up 7-3 on Florida in the Ozone. Pardon me, as Lane Lawson will go into shortstop as Cole Patrick goes to the mound. He's the second pitcher of the day, but he inherits a bit of a jam here as the tying runs are on. For the number 11 batter in the inning is Jaden Pelletier.
Congratulations, guys.
The pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1. Get your runners. Jennings at third, Guess at second, Kaddour at first. As Florida down 10-3 this inning has answered Alabama's batting around in the top half. They've batted around themselves here in the bottom half. Catcher sets up outside. The pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop. He has it. He'll flip to second for one. He drops the ball. Everybody is safe. As the wheels continue to fall off. As Florida now within a run. It's 10-9. They were only going to get one on the play, but the ball is dropped and the bases remain loaded for Logan Andrea. As Team Florida could take the lead here with a base hit. Strike them out, Cole, the text reads. The pitch will miss outside. 1-0. This has been the longest of innings on both sides. As Cole shakes one off, and now he has the pitch he wants. He fires. It's going to miss the outside of the plate. It's now 2-0. Again, championship game scheduled for 2 as Texas awaits the winner. Possibly, as that's fouled off the top of the scoreboard. I say possibly only because if Alabama were to lose, Florida and Texas would have to either draw, flip a coin, or something to decide who plays Alabama in the 2 o'clock game. Again, Alabama's played one less game, so they must play in the 2 o'clock game. The 2-1 missing upstairs. It's 3-1. There's nowhere to put him. It's Guess at third, Kadur at second, Pelletier at first. The 3-0 pitch is low for ball 4. We are tied at 10.
Bang number 10, Pierce Story.
So Andrea drives in his second run of the inning the easy way as Guest scores the 7th run of the inning as time is called. As the catcher might be injured here, as it looks like Estes is holding his left elbow. He's been doing a whole lot more catching this inning than he cared to. As the Florida fans below us to our right are in a much better mood than they were about 30 minutes ago. As the faces are long out in the field. As they were 9 outs away from the championship game, but now we have a brand new game. It is 10-10. Yes, regardless of what happens here, Alabama will play at 2 o'clock, whether they're the unbeaten or the one-loss team. As we mentioned, they played one less game. They had the bye, I believe, on Monday, which means they will have to play at 2. So, feels like a long day so far, and it's going to be longer. As Pierce Story to the plate, bunt single his first time up. He hits a ground ball to second, over to first, in time for the out. It goes 4-3, but the damage has been done as Team Florida puts up a 7 spot here in the bottom of the 4th. 7 hits in the inning as Pelletier has 2 of them. They leave them loaded. They've left 6 on through 4. But we will go to the top of the 5th, tied at 10 apiece. And you are watching the 2016 AAA State Tournament, World Series here on JockJive.com.
Every league in Dixie Youth Baseball sets their sights each year on the Dixie Youth Baseball World Series. In August, champions in the Majors Division, the AAA Division, or the O-Zone Division from each state compete for the #1 position in Dixie Youth Baseball. Why not combine your vacation with a week of championship youth baseball at the Dixie Youth World Series?
Back here in Laurel where we have a final, we will definitely have an if game in the O-Zone division. As Team Florida loses, they were the unbeaten team, they lose 7-3 to Alabama.
In the majors, Alabama 9, Florida 3.
So in the O-Zone division, Florida loses because they're the undefeated team, so Florida will have to play either Alabama, Texas, or South Carolina in the 2 o'clock game. Again, those if games are yet to be determined on when they would be played. As McMahon, Lott, and Estes will lead things off here in the top of the 5th.
Leading off in the top of the 5th for Alabama, #1, Rowan McMahon.
Both with a touchdown, both with a field goal as we're tied 10-10. Just another subtle reminder, football is in the air, or it's going to be. I would imagine for a lot of these youngsters, once the Dixie summer is over. Popped up, left side, the second baseman running in. Bellamy will make the catch, 1 out.
Bang number 8, Joe Lott.
As Joe Lott will bat for the 4th time. Popped out to short, hit a 1-3 sacrifice, and doubled and scored. So he is 1 for 2 officially. Georgia and Texas. Georgia up 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th in the majors. That ball is low for ball 1. South Carolina on top of Texas, 5-2. That's the other game going on right now. Ground ball to the shortstop. He bobbles, and everybody's going to be safe. as the youngsters from Nacogdoches, you see down there below us in the white, looking on. Again, they don't know yet with 100% certainty who they'll play. It'll be Alabama if they win. So it's yet to be determined that Texas could get into the if game. As they're chanting for Florida because they realize, yeah, if we can get into the if game, we want Florida to win. So they have a vested interest. Strike called. Count is now 0-2. And again, I'm imagining it'll be done on the field, the flip or the draw, so we will keep the broadcast going so you can see the reaction, as that's going to be a wild pitch. Because usually the team that gets the bye is doing a lot of jumping up and down and celebrating, because that means they get a little more rest, as Lott now safe at second on the wild pitch. That's a strike. And that'll be a strikeout. As Estes down on strikes for Cole Patrick, who hit a 2-run single his first time up, or his last time up. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. In Texas with the 11-1 win over South Carolina moments ago. So their tournament continues as South Carolina will finish tied for third. The pitch, missing inside. The pitch swung on, hit into center field. That's a base hit. Short center fielder has it. It's coming into the pitcher. It's going to be offline, and Alabama retakes the lead. So the single from Cole Patrick drives in his third run of the game as Lott scores for the second time in the game to make it 11-10. Michael Crocker has a 2-run homer in this game. He parked one on the other side of that Kia sign out there as it goes over his head for ball one. He also has an RBI single, so he's got 3 RBIs in the game. Just realizes that's low for ball 2. They have the merchandise booth down there to the right. You know, it'd be a nice item to have down there would be nail clippers so parents aren't biting them off. Swung on and hit to right field. That's going to be a base hit as the runner will take second. Oh, and he almost gets caught. Oh, he gets back safely as Cole Patrick almost got caught napping out there, taking the few steps around second as the shortstop almost doubled him off out there. So runners at first and second for William Taylor. That's a great hit, Cole. Texter from the 251 area code back in the Port City. William Taylor is 1 for 2 with a sac fly. He takes a pitch outside for a ball. Again, as we mentioned numerous times, but in case you're tuning in late, the finals have been moved to 2 p.m. today to try to get it in, as the chance of rain very high tomorrow. Swung on and fouled to the left side. Texas possibly awaiting the winner, depending on the winner here. If it's Alabama, it will be Alabama-Texas at 2. Otherwise, we'll have a draw or a flip between Texas and Florida to determine who plays at 2 and who will get into the if game. We already have one in the O zone. Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. So again, it's Alabama, Florida, and the Texas-South Carolina winner in the O zone division. The 1-2 pitch inside as Florida was hoping. A lot of bouncing up and down on the heels, a lot of hands outstretched. A lot of volunteer umpires, I guess you could call them, trying to trying to help the one that really matters make the right call, at least in their mind. The 2-2 swung on, foul to the left side. Says, great hit, Cole. Says, let's go, William. As in William Taylor. Alabama with a single tally here in the fifth. They have taken the 11-10 lead as the unbeaten Alabama squad looking to punch their ticket to the final here at 2 o'clock. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. He kind of did the half-hearted swing but could not check his swing. So Alabama will leave 2 on. They have left 9 on, but they do get the single tally on 3 hits. We will go to the bottom of the fifth. Florida now coming up, trailing 11-10. Here on day 5 of the 2016 DYB AAA World Series, which you're watching here on JockJive.com.
Sportsmanship is one of the goals of Dixie Youth Baseball. At times, we see good sportsmanship displayed by everyone except for some adults. We feel that as adults, regardless of whether or not they're active in the program, they're supposed to set a good example. Everyone can do this as they sit in the stands cheering for their favorite team. Be a good example of sportsmanship. Yell for, not against a team. In this way, you can set a good example of sportsmanship. Fans are as much a part of the game as the umpires, so be a good fan by cheering for your team and not against the other.
Back here in Laurel where the text reads, Bama beat them this time. It'll be the top of the lineup for Team Florida in Bellamy, Boone, and Jennings. The top 2 batters in the lineup, Bellamy and Boone, a combined 5 for 6. Boone has a solo shot to his credit.
Leading off number 24, Diggy Bellamy.
Diggy Bellamy is 2 for 3 with a double, a single, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Said it more than once. This one far from over as Patrick has his sign and he fires to the plate. It is off the plate. Oh, they called a strike on a very late call. The 0-1. Popped up on the infield. Second base going out, short going out, and it's going to drop in the little Bermuda Triangle out there between second, short, and center.
Batting number 42, Malik Boone.
A leadoff hit for Bellamy, who is now 3 for 4. And as we mentioned, Malik Boone 3 for 3 with that solo home run. Fans are getting their money's worth and then some with this one. Has the Texas bunch down there to our right, temporary Florida fans. As again, a Florida win gives them the possibility of drawing the bye into the quote-unquote if game, as Alabama, as we mentioned, with 1 less game played, will be playing at 2 o'clock regardless if they're undefeated or not. The pitch. Swung on to the right side. It'll go foul. It's 1-1. Boone with a double and a run scored in the first. Solo homer in the third. An RBI single in the fourth. So he just needs a triple for the cycle. World Series are nothing new to this Boone family. As we mentioned, Bubba Boone, I believe, is his younger brother, was in the Coach Pitch Machine Pitch tournament. That one is low for a ball. 2-1 the count. We still have 1 game going on in the Majors division. The other 4 games have been decided. It's Mother Nature at the moment still cooperating. We appreciate that. The 2-1, that one's going to miss outside. It's now 3-1. As Florida now a pitch away from putting the go-ahead run on base. In the runner at first, Diggy Bellamy The pitch. Swing and a miss. That'll run the count full as Boone may have chased ball 4 right there. Again, we have had a slugfest here to open day 5 here on Laurel Ford Field. 11-10 in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch. Low and away, so Boone draws the walk. As Patrick upset with himself. As the tying run now in scoring position.
Bag number 3, Jordan Jennings.
Jordan Jennings has been on 3 times. He was hit by a pitch in the first. Our infield single in the third, forced out on a fielder's choice. Hit into a fielder's choice that drove in a run, and he scored in the 4th. The pitch popped up on the infield. The catcher will make the catch. Fortunately, doesn't trip over his mask.
Bag number 23, Cam Zapata.
For out number 1. That's Cooper Estes. He's been back there the whole game. As Cam Zapata, who's been on base twice, RBI single in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, flew out to left in the 4th. Pitch is a strike called. I believe I heard we have a final in the majors game. 4-2 Georgia over Texas. As I think the runner at third just got picked off. Boy, a big play there. So 2-5 for out number 2, as this is the only game in town, literally, at the moment. And what a roller coaster of one it has been. The pitch, low and away. 1-1 the count. So Georgia a 4-2 winner in the majors. So Georgia in the championship game in the majors division. Ground ball up the middle. It's a base hit. And how big is that caught stealing now? It'd be a tie game, but runner's going to head to third. The throw is going to be late from center field. He held it forever for some reason, and the game is now tied, and the runner's going to head to third. Not sure what the reason there, but the center fielder was holding on to the ball. Florida just kept running. Boone scoring all the way from first. We are tied at 11. Holy smokes, folks. Oh, and we got at least one more game today. We have seen leads evaporate quickly on all age groups. It is never, ever over. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball. It gets into left field. That's a base hit. Team Florida retakes the lead. It's 12-11. My goodness. So 2 runs with 2 outs. Zapata scores. Yeah. As one of our announcers comes in saying, good Lord, I'm like, yeah, exactly. 12-11 our score. At one time was 10-3, the pitch. That is a strike on the outside corner. Again, this is the only game going right now. The runner at first, Trenton Guess. The pitch, low and away. 1-1. Yeah, Florida's got a good kicker. They've put up 4 field goals in this one. Just when you think you've seen it all here this week, you see something else. That ball missing up. It's now 2-1. So if this score holds, we'll have an if game in the AAA division. We're going to have the if in the O zone, I believe. The majors do not. The pitch swung on, fouled back. So again, we remind you to like us on Facebook. We're going to update the scores and the schedule after the conclusion of this one. So, again, if Alabama rallies, it'll be Alabama-Texas in the final. Otherwise, we'll have the blind draw. That is swung on and hit to center field. Center fielder coming in and will make the catch for out number 3, but not before. Team Florida with a pair of runs with 2 outs to take the 12-11 lead. We will head to the top of the 6th here next on JockJive.com.
Every league in Dixie Youth Baseball sets their sights each year on the Dixie Youth Baseball World Series. In August, champions in the Majors Division, the AAA Division, or the O-Zone Division from each state compete for the number 1 position in Dixie Youth Baseball. Why not combine your vacation with a week of championship youth baseball at the Dixie Youth World Series?
Here are some things you may not know about Jock Jive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like Dixie, American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We've worked with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. Here's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right, we have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your next sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve Jock Jive.
Back here in Laurel, where just found out if we have a coin flip, it'll happen after the elimination ceremony. So we're going to show you all that regardless. So says, let's go South Sumter. As time is called, no pitch. Says, let's go South Sumter. Jaden, we are so proud of you from your mom, Jeff, and brothers. As Lane Lawson will lead things off here. He's 3 for 3. The pitch swung on, and a leaping grab by Bellamy for out number 1. As the Texas youngsters down there loving it. Because if there is an elimination, well, actually there won't be an elimination ceremony if Alabama wins. We'll just have the home run balls and then the coin toss. That is low for a ball. Again, home runs hit on both sides. Crocker for, yes, if Florida wins. Thank you. If Alabama wins, they're in the championship. But if Florida wins, the pitch swung on, ground ball through the 5-6 hole. That's a base hit. As Rutland aboard with his 3rd hit of the day.
Bang number 12, Zach Patrick.
As Zach Patrick to the plate. 1 for 3 with a fielder's choice and a run scored. So we're already going to have 1 if game. Florida could make it 2 here. Says, so very proud of you, Trenton. Go Florida. Love Aunt Susan and Uncle Bob. The pitch. Missing upstairs. It's 1-0. Again, the runner at first, Nicholas Rutland. Florida, a ground ball away from possibly ending it here. It is a ball. It is 2-0. So we're in our over the 2-hour mark in our coverage here. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on, popped up on the infield. Shortstop going out, second base going out, and it'll drop again. And everybody be safe. It drops in that little Bermuda Triangle out there between second, short, and center.
Bang number 1, Rowan McMahon.
The go-ahead run is on base again. Boy, if I had $1 for every time I've said that in this broadcast. Rowan McMahon. 2-run single in the second. Fielder's choice and a run scored in the 4th. Popped out in the 5th as we're going to have a runner here. It looks like 22. Carson Cooper in to run for Rutland. Actually, I think both coaches are trying to communicate up here.
Say that again.
believe the Florida coaches are having a discrepancy on who should be at the plate. It should be Rowan McMahon. And that's who's there, number 1.
We have the number 12, the first batter up. We got a different kid out there now.
So the Florida scorekeeper's there at the box, so it's a case with the scorekeeper, and I believe may have to go down there and communicate with them, but we have Rowan McMahon, so I think it looks like it's a case where Team Florida is just off on their book. So we're gonna stay here for a moment. Says shout out says go Team Florida. Let's go Florida from Aunt Carol. So again, while we're waiting, we're gonna recap what we've got here so far. Again, Texas was an 11-1 winner in 4 over South Carolina, so Texas is down there waiting to see what happens with them. Georgia was a 4-2 winner over Texas. They're the unbeaten team. Alabama 9-3 over Florida, so it's Georgia and Alabama for all the marbles. Georgia can win the World Series in the Majors division with a win at 2 o'clock against Alabama. The Ozone division has South Carolina beating Texas 5-2. And Alabama with a 4-3 win over Florida. Wait, I'm sorry. So Alabama has won the coin toss and will be in the bye. So Florida and South Carolina will play at 2 in the Ozone. So Alabama has already won the coin toss over there. As still conferencing together here. And I believe we do have the right batter up. I guess whatever questions Florida had on their scorekeeping has been answered. Again, it is going to be Carson Cooper running at second for Nicholas Rutland. He represents the tying run. Zach Patrick at first. He is the go-ahead run with 1 out. Says, way to go, Yard Crocker. And did they plunk him? They plunked him in the back.
Bag number 8, Joe Lott.
So now the bases are loaded. In case things couldn't get any more interesting, they do. As Joe Lott is about to come up for his 5th plate appearance, as McMahon's going to try to walk that one off. Lott popped out to short in the first, hit a 1-3 sacrifice in the third. He doubled and scored in the fourth, singled and scored in the fifth. As the Bama fans getting loud. It looks like he's going to be all right. Says, way to go, Yard Crocker. Hayfield Place is pulling for you. Says, hit a grand slam, Bama from Bo. They are full for Joe Lott. He takes a pitch low and in the dirt. They will not advance. Getting the tying run at third. Go-ahead run at second. Insurance run at first. That would be Cooper, Patrick, Zach Patrick, and McMahon. As that is swung on and foul tip for a strike, it's 1-1. The pitch is going to miss for ball 2, as we have to be a little deliberate on our calls up here as we wait for him down there. Infield in for the play at the plate. Swung on, popped up. Center fielder giving chase. Is going to drop for a base hit. 1 is going to score, and it gets away from the center fielder. 2 runs are going to score. The throw is going to go to third. Will not be in time. The trail runner will take second. Alabama back on top. 13-12. Holy smokes. So Joe Lott on for the third time today as he plates 2. Cooper scores. Zach Patrick scores. As Cooper Estes to the plate. Pitch low. It gets away through the wickets, and a run is going to score on the pass ball. It's now 14-12 as the trail runner takes third. The pitch swung on, popped up, out of play to the right. Count now 2-2. Florida will have 6, 7, and 8 coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Those 3 have a combined 4 hits. The pitch swung on, ground ball. The short pitcher has it over to first in time when they could have gotten the run at the plate, and another run scores. It's 15-12. They didn't even look to third. So that'll go 1-3 and an RBI. Joe Lott scoring for the third time today. As Cole Patrick, 2 hits and a run scored. The pitch swung on, ground ball. The third baseman has it. Long throw across will be in time. 5-3. But once again, damage done. Alabama plating 4 here in the top of the 6th. On 1, 2, 3 hits. They don't leave any on. Alabama, 3 outs away from the championship game. Florida needs another rally, and we'll have it for you when we get back here on JockJive.com.
Did you know a child may start in the Dixie program at or below age 6 and continue through age 19? Yes, there's an opportunity for youth 6 through 19 to enjoy baseball in Dixie. Dixie Youth, Dixie Boys, Dixie Majors. If your league is not a part of these baseball programs, contact a Dixie official for information and bring your child up in Dixie.
Back here in Laurel where it says, good job, Bama. It says, told you Bama has heart. Go, Bama. Grandma and Pops love you. That's Cole Patrick. Looks like he's going to be called to try to close the door on a roller coaster of a ball game here. 27 runs have been scored. It'll be Kadur, Pelletier, Andrea. Kadur, 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Pelletier, 2 for 3 with a run scored. And Andrea, 1 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and 2 RBIs. So this one is far from being put to bed here. This score holds. It's Alabama and Texas for the World Series title at 2. Texas would have to beat Alabama twice. Say 27 runs or 9 field goals.
Leading off number 17, Jaden Pelletier.
Actually, sorry, it's Pelletier leading things off. Pelletier, Andrea, and Story. Story has 2 hits in the game, so everybody has gotten in on the hit parade on both sides here. So as of this second, we could have an elimination ceremony with Team Florida. Florida hoping to stave that off. Patrick's pitch is a ball upstairs. 2 hours and 15 minutes into this broadcast. The pitch low for ball 2. Says, let's go, Bama. Finish strong, boys. Love Mrs. Lott. I'm assuming that's mother of Joe. Ground ball through the 5-6 hole for a base hit.
Batting double zero, Logan Andre.
As Pelletier on for the third time. is Andrea looking to get on base for the third time. He popped out to first in the second. He hit an RBI single in the fourth, and then drew a bases-loaded walk in the fourth. The pitch, missing outside for ball one. Again, if you're tuning in late, championship games rescheduled for 2 p.m. today. Hopes to beat the impending weather. That swung on and hit to left center. Left fielder giving chase. And does he make the catch? He does! The ball looked like it was in the heel of the glove. He spun around and kept it in there as he gets out of boys from about half his team. That is Carson Cooper with the grab for out number one. That's Pierce Story with 2 hits and a run scored to the plate. See wind blowing out in left center, the Florida flag out there. In the runner at first, Pelletier. Time is called. We see some of the Texas boys with their rally caps on down there. They're still hoping for a Florida win, which would give them the possibility of the bye into the if game. That swung on and hit to right center field, and it will drop for a base hit. It gets misplayed by the right fielder, but the runner at second will stay put. And for about the umpteenth time in the game, I say the tying run coming to the plate.
Bag number 24, Diggy Bellamy.
Diggy Bellamy batting for the 5th time. He is 3 for 4. Double and a run scored in the first. Popped out to second and third. RBI single, run scored in the 4th. Single in the 5th. And Mally Boone lurking on deck. He has hit a homer today. Patrick looking in for the sign. He has it. Pitch to Bellamy. Swung on. Hit to right center. Could be trouble. And it's going to get down for a base hit. As the center fielder dives and misses it. 1's going to score. 2's going to score. Runner headed to third. He'll be standing there with a triple. It's 15-14.
Number 42, Malik.
Holy smoke, folks. And a man coming to the plate, youngster in Mally Boone, who has homered today. I think something else they may need in that merchandise booth is Tums and Rolaids. Some parents are going to be needing some of that as manager Scott Patrick is going to take the ball from Cole Patrick. So we're going to have some changes here. Looks like Lawson will be going back out to center as Joe Lott will come in to pitch. So I believe Cole Patrick will be going back into short where he started the game. And Alex Sherman will be going back to third where he started the game. Actually, scratch that. I had that wrong. That's Sherman on the mound, I believe. With Lott now to third. So Sherman will be the third pitcher of the game as he'll be called in to close the door on what has been one wild game here on Laurel Ford Field. And oh, by the way, we have at least one more to be played. The shout-out line starting to buzz a little bit. Says, great job, Cole. We love you from the Ladners. The tying run will be at third. The winning run at the plate. I'm not sure what the most runs in a AAA World Series game is, but we may have to find us a program here to ascertain that. As we hear Wes Skelton say 37 is the record, 19-18, and that's happened twice. We're getting closer. 15-14 the score here as Mally Boone, who has homered today, is at the plate. Says, let's go Florida from Aunt Carroll. Runner at third is Bellamy. The pitch. Swung on and hit the center. The center fielder is going back and it is gone! A walk-off! Holy smoke, a walk-off two-run homer as Mally Boone homers for the second time today. Florida scores 4 in the 6th. They win 16-15. Are you kidding me? Wow. So that means we will have an if game here in the AAA division. I'm going to have to break out my calculator to do
Alabama 15, Florida 16.
The post-game roundup here for Team Alabama. Joe Lott goes 3 for 5, 2 doubles, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Cooper Estes, 2 for 4 with a walk, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Cole Patrick, 2 for 5, a run scored, 2 RBIs. Michael Crocker, 3 for 4, a 2-run homer, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs. William Taylor, 1 for 2 with a sac fly and an RBI. Lane Lawson, 3 for 4 with a run scored. Nicholas Rutland goes 3 for 3. Zach Patrick, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Rowan McMahon, 1 for 3 with a 2-run single, a run scored, make it 2 runs scored. Alex Sherman, 1 for 1. C.J. Stewart, 0 for 1. Carson Cooper, 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored as he went in to run in the 6th inning. We will give you the Florida totals after the ceremony as we see William Wade, State Director from Alabama out there, Van Saltz, National Director of Alabama, State Director of Florida, Tony
State
Smith
Director
out there.
William Wade, Assistant State Director Ken Foster, and National Director Van Saltz would like to present number 4, Michael Crocker from Alabama with his home run ball.
As Michael Crocker gets his home run ball from Van Saltz. William Wade giving him bumps as well. As the second home run ball of Mally Boone's has been retrieved and encased with some very quick signatures, I'm sure. See Don Morris out there, one of the national directors from Florida.
Official Director, State Director Tony Smith, National Director Don Morris, National Director Brian Cox, District Director Alan Kirkland, and District Director Denise Stallings would like to present number 42 with his 2 home run balls, Mally Boone from Florida.
There's Mally Boone getting 2 home run balls, including the game-winning walk-off homer. So we will not have an elimination ceremony, but we will have a coin flip to decide who's going to get the bye between Team Florida and Team Texas. We see the Texas manager down there at the opening of the gate. And this will be easy. The winner of this coin flip is going to be the one doing the celebrating as they get to sit and watch Alabama and the loser of the toss do battle at 2. As Commissioner Wes Skelton bringing the coaches over. As Wes Skelton is explaining to Coach Patrick, since you had the one less game, you're not involved in the coin toss. You're going to be playing at 2. So the coin toss between Alabama and Texas, as you see out there, will be to see who Alabama's opponent will be.
We now have 3 teams with 1 loss each. Alabama playing the most games will play at 2 o'clock, and now we're having the coin toss with Commissioner Wes Skelton on the mound. Mr. Skelton, the coin toss, please.
He's showing them the coin with the heads and the tails, and you'll be able to tell by the reaction who gets the bye. And it's Florida! So they get the walk-off win and they get the bye.
It appears that Florida has won the toss.
So Texas and Alabama will do battle here in about 2.5 hours. At 2 o'clock, Florida will await the winner. What a wild turn of events here as Florida went from being eliminated to winning a walk-off and then winning the bye. So Team Florida will go ahead and give you their recap before we sign off. Diggy Bellamy goes 4 for 5, a double, a triple, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Mally Boone going 4 for 4. 2 home runs, including the game-winning walk-off. 4 runs scored and 4 RBIs. Jordan Jennings, 1 for 3 with a hit by pitch, a run scored, and an RBI. Cam Zapata, 2 for 4 with a triple, a run scored, 2 RBIs. Trenton Guess, 1 for 3 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Ty Kador goes 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Jaden Pelletier goes 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, an RBI. Logan Andrea goes 1 for 3 with a walk, a run scored, 2 RBIs. Pierce Story goes 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Landon Hogan 0 for 1, and Colby Reinberger 0 for 1. I'm sorry for Hogan, 0 for 1 for Reinberger. Okay, time to catch my breath after a lengthy game, after almost 2.5 hours. In walk-off fashion, Florida with the 16-15 win, and then they win the bye. So it'll be Mobile, Alabama, Nacogdoches, Texas at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The winner gets South Sumter, Florida at a time and date to be determined. So we'll call it a day for now. We'll be back in a couple hours. Jason Thompson signing off, wishing you wherever you tuned in today, pleasant morning.